There is a skill, hidden from most people, yet quietly mastered by every high achiever you admire. It's not discipline, not confidence, not motivation. Those come later. The real power is something deeper. The ability to control the first impulse. The instinct, the spark, the automatic reaction that decides your entire trajectory long before you think. Today, I'll show you how this invisible mechanism works and how mastering it can elevate your entire life. The invisible force that decides your life. Every decision you make, waking up, studying, quitting, scrolling, training, speaking, avoiding, starts with one thing: your first impulse. Most people never study this impulse. They obey it blindly. You say you want to wake up early, but the moment your alarm rings, your first impulse says, 5 more minutes. You want to build a business, but the first impulse says, maybe later. You want to talk to someone important, but the first impulse whispers, what if you fail? And before you even have time to think, you obey it. For years, for decades, for entire lifetimes. But here's the truth you were never taught. The first impulse is not your true voice. It's your oldest programming, the version of you that fears effort, risk, and discomfort. The people who rise, they don't have better impulses. They just stopped obeying them. There are only 2 ways to live. One default life. Your impulses control you. Your emotions control you. Your comfort controls you. This is how 99% live. 2. Design life. You control your impulses. You shape your emotions. You lead your mind instead of following it. This is how the 1% live. And the difference begins with this rule. Pause before obeying your first impulse. That pause is your power. It's where the old you dies, and the new you is born. When you pause, you think clearly. You choose consciously. You stop the automatic cycle that used to trap you. The pause is the difference between scrolling and studying, quitting and continuing, fear and action, regret and growth. The neurology of momentum. Your brain has a built-in system called the basal ganglia. It loves efficiency. It loves routine. It loves doing what it did yesterday. This part of your brain is ancient. It does not care about your goals. It only cares about what is easy, predictable, and energy-saving. So when you try to grow, your brain resists. Not because you're weak, but because your brain wants stability, not transformation. But when you insert the pause, you shift control away from the ancient part of your mind and give it to the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for conscious decisions, planning, growth, long-term thinking, discipline. This tiny pause literally rewires your brain. The 4-second identity shift. Here's the technique the 1% use, intentionally or unintentionally. The 4-second identity shift. Hear how it works. Your impulse appears. Skip the workout. Scroll your phone. Do it tomorrow. Pause for 4 seconds. Breathe. Let the impulse pass. Don't obey it instantly. Ask one question. What would the future version of me do right now? Act immediately, before doubt returns. This small shift, done repeatedly, changes your identity faster than any motivational speech. Because every action you take is a vote for who you become. Here's something almost nobody knows. Growth doesn't come from doing big things. It comes from doing small things that your impulse resists. These tiny acts of micro-opposition build mental power faster than any routine. If you feel like stopping, right arrow, do 2 more minutes. If you feel like scrolling, open your notes instead. If you feel lazy, right arrow, stand up immediately. If you feel doubt, right arrow, speak anyway. Every time you oppose the impulse, your brain updates your identity. You stop seeing yourself as weak and start seeing yourself as someone who leads their own mind. Imagine 2 people. Person A obeys impulses. Every day, 1% more avoidance, 1% more distraction, 1% more fear. Person B opposes impulses. Every day, 1% more courage, 1% more discipline, 1% more clarity. In 20 years, Person A is stuck, confused, regretful. Person B is successful, calm, respected, fulfilled. And the difference wasn't luck or motivation. It was 4 seconds, repeated thousands of times. How you apply this today: 1. First alarm. Impulse, snooze. Shift, stand immediately. 2. First distraction. Impulse, pick up phone. Shift, complete 5 minutes first. 3. First resistance. Impulse, skip work. Shift, do 2 minutes. 4. First fear. Impulse, avoid. Shift, step forward. 5. First doubt. Impulse, delay. Shift, begin immediately. These small victories accumulate. They build momentum so powerful that within weeks people will say, "You seem different." But you won't be different. You'll just be in control. You don't need more motivation. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to wait for confidence. You just need to stop obeying the first impulse and start listening to the future version of yourself, because they already know who you can become, and they're waiting for you to catch up.